among all beings of the universe. Let there be peace. Let there be peace. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaskar, Namaskar, Namaskar. Welcome to Satsang. Free you are. You have been free, always free. But what is freedom? Consciousness. And you are consciousness. Therefore you are free. And consciousness is bliss, happiness, love. And how is it that you forgot it? Because when you are in contact with objects of the senses and you get happiness, you get pleasure, and therefore you think that contact with the objects of the senses gives you happiness, therefore everybody is involved with the objects of the senses. Where is the bliss? When the mind is in contact with the object, it gets pleasure. At that time, while getting pleasure from any person, anything, any idea, one is happy. But at that time, in contact with all these three things, the intelligence is steady for some time. When you meet an object that you wanted to meet, you wanted to meet a friend, and friend is in front of you. At that time, the object that you wanted is in front of you and you are happy, and this happiness is attributed to the object. Why? This happiness is the result of your intelligence. Intellect is steady at that time because it wanted to meet an object, and so it met with, at that time, it becomes steady. So when this intellect is steady, at that time it returns back to the source, which is the fountainhead of bliss. So at that time, this intellect being steady, the self is reflecting on it, because there is nothing in between self and the intellect. Therefore, she returns back to the self and gets happiness till that object is there. And this happiness doesn't come from any object. How did you lose it? When this object is in front of you, then you go to another object. Then again, the intellect is distracted from one object to another object. So again it becomes steady, meeting another object. Then again this self reflects on it, means the bliss is reflected on it, and you attribute this bliss to object. That is the mistake we are doing always, you see, we don't understand. And once we know this, if we keep the mind steady, and then the self is reflecting immaculate happiness and bliss on this thing, and it will go inward and become one with the self. So whenever there is a prayer, it is from the self, of the consciousness, not of any object. Because objects are all temporary. Begin, stay, and vanish. How can anything that appears and disappears, is not permanent, can be of the nature of the self, can be nature of the bliss? How can we expect any bliss out of any kind of object? But it is the self that is bliss, and once you know it is the self that is bliss and you are one with it, then whosoever you will meet from the self, and you will not find any difference between you and other objects, and your love will be forever, not with the name, not with the form, but of the self to the self, of the self within the self. So this is very simple. That's what in this satsang we are stressing. You are already free, and this freedom is consciousness that gives you bliss. It is that's all to be spoken about. This satsang means association with the self alone, not associating with name and form. That every day you see, when you go to sleep, you enjoy a sort of bliss, happiness, peace. Why? Because at that time you don't carry name and form when you retire to sleep. During that 5-6 hours you are happy. Every day you go to sleep only for this reason, to return to your self nature of which is bliss. So we can always make up this habit to be always happy and always in the same state as we had been in our sleep state to begin with, and later on when it becomes habitual, natural, then it will transcend the waking, dreaming and the sleep also, and you will be transported to some other state, and that is for you to experience now and here. Oh. Where are you speaking from? Where do you speaking from? Far away, far away. Yeah, run up then. Run up, come here. Yes.
I am confused a bit, because you keep on repeating you are already free.
Yes, and what happens when I go on repeating? Because you have been repeated time and again since the time of your birth. People have repeatedly been telling you that you belong to somebody else, that you are the body. Therefore, why did you not tell to them why you are always repeating that I am your daughter, I am your wife, I am your sister, I am your mother? Why you had been, my dear girl, been possessed by so many people, and why do you object to my only one repetition? Why you did you speak to your father who called you at the birth, and you cried out of the womb, and he is happy, he is laughing. Everybody laughed, and you cried, isn't it? You cried, isn't it?
I
Coming.
think so.
Not think, ask your nurse.
Yeah.
If you had a video. So next time, everybody cries. Everybody cries. And all the relations are happy and sending gifts to your parents. And they say, congratulations, you got a daughter, and daughter is crying. Now at least you cried when you were born and the people laughed. Now at least while going you laugh and let others cry. You go smiling. You go smiling, I am free, and that's all.
This was my question. If I only have to remember.
No remembrance, that you are. Why to remember? That why to remember? Have you got to remember if someone says, who are you? You are Mr. So-and-so. And you say, no, I am Mrs. or Miss so-and-so. Why?
Because I know.
And you know very well. Do you remember that you are a woman? Do you remember?
Know.
Huh?
I just know. I know it.
Therefore, what is the trouble if you know I am neither man nor woman? I am free. You just know it. Okay, you keep this knowledge, and when you go to sleep, who goes with you that I am a woman? Why did you forget this remembering when you are sleeping? Are you a woman or a man? Wife or a mother? When you are sleeping, who are you? Now don't shrug your shoulders now. Give me exact experience. What happens when you are sleeping? Are you a woman or a man?
I'm neither.
Huh?
I'm not a woman or a man.
Yes, then who are you? Who are you when you are in deep sleep?
Me.
Me, yes, me. And what is the shape of this me? Is it man or woman?
It is no man and no woman.
Okay, very good. And that me is called freedom. Understand?
I need to, I'm sorry.
That me, see, listen, that me during the sleep state, who has got knowledge that it is me? Who has got knowledge? Who was witnessing?
What is behind the eye?
Excellent, still good. So what is behind the eye is knowing this was me. So what is behind the eye now? What was it? What is it?
It is you also.
It is?
It is what I see in you.
Yes, you everywhere. Yes, it is you everywhere. So this what I repeat only once. This is in me, this is in you, this is in the trees, birds, animals and rocks. That's all.
That's all.
That's all, I don't repeat. Because you say you want repetition, I repeat. Otherwise, once is enough. For intelligent man, once is enough. Because someone told you, at the time of birth we had a daughter and you became woman. One repetition, you became woman. Yes, and one repetition is you are that consciousness. You are that consciousness. Then that's all I say. If it doesn't work, tomorrow I will say, day after also I will say, but I will say the same thing. I will say the same thing. I will not change myself. Beloved Papaji, you gave me the name Pele, means volcano. Giving me this name, you have touched the flame on my bottom of my heart. This flame is love, burning fear and desires. So you are the first love in my life, opening the window for locking the truth. I am home and there is bliss, freedom and grace. Being with you in me, thank you for this wonderful gift, Pele. Very few people know what is Pele, I believe, no? Where is Pele? I forgot. Bridget, no? Oh yeah, Bridget became Pele. I don't remember why I gave you this name, Pele. It has worked very well, no? You have seen volcanoes? Yes. Yes. Very strong, ever the same. Today, tomorrow, day after, same thing. And nobody can put it off, no? By any water. It is from the sea itself. The water could not do anything to it, you see. That is called the strength of mind that will burn our desires. Whatever comes, it becomes fire, that's all. Oh, very.
It becomes
very. Yeah. Chalo. Thank you. Good. Chalo, बैठ जाओ. Sri Devi. Dear Papaji, the other day when I came forward to speak to you, something special happened that was outside of all kind of words to describe. May I come close again and not to speak, but just to be near you again, deep gratitude. You were leaving for Ramana Ashram, isn't it? You were going, no, somewhere?
I decided it was here.
Hmm?
I decided it was here. I decided it was here.
Stay, yes. So you have decided not to speak. You have decided not to speak. You have decided not to speak, and when you don't speak, what happens?
There's something more like humility.
Something?
More like humility.
Yes. When you are not speaking, what is happening? Not speaking.
Simplicity. Something like simplicity.
Not speaking by not only tongue, not speaking by mind also. Okay. Yeah. When you are not speaking also, then the mind is active, no? So you stop the activity of the mind, activity of the tongue also. Then go to that silence. Okay. That will be really not speaking. And let the senses don't speak, the mind also not speak, the tongue also not to speak. Then this is going to be real quietness. And this quietness will take you back to freedom. You will not be engaged with anything else. You will be engaged towards this silence only, and silence and happiness and self, there's no difference, you see. You must be as silent in the day as in the night. Even while active into day-to-day business, even then you can keep quiet, you see. Yeah. Quietness has got nothing to do with activity of the physical activities. The ocean is calling this river to the end of its journey. Silent ocean calling, be still, be quiet, and know the river has merged without effort with, without knowing, more subtle than breath. They were never separate. The ocean's tail stretched into the hills. On what a joke, on what a laugh inside of me, and out, ignites forever in gratitude, beloved Papaji. My home is forever here at your feet. Thank you. Kesho. Thank you. Love undoes me. No one left to do. No doing needed. Only this endless love, a magnet for itself. Love wanting only love, love seeing only love, nothing left but this eternal love. Anonymous, no name. Very good. Would you like to give me a no name? No name. Is there something you would want to tell me? Who's Kesha or Kosha? Kosha, who's here? Come here. You sit behind. Let us sit behind. Would you like to give me a no name? Kasha. Kosha. Kosha. You want a no name?
Yes.
What's a no name? I'll give you no name. No name means, the meaning of the word should be, what's the meaning of this kosha?
Kasha, nothing.
Eh?
Nothing. I gave myself the name. I felt it sounded nice.
Mm-hmm. At what age?
When?
Yeah, when did you give this name called?
3 weeks ago.
Therefore, it doesn't mean anything, no?
My birth name is Katarina.
What?
Katarina. My birth name
is Satarina?
Katarina.
Catherine.
Yeah.
Catherine, no? Katharina from German you are?
No, Sweden.
Sweden, it's Catherine. Katharina, this is a good name, no? So this is, if you want no name, you can just reverse this name, Kosha too. Just reverse this name. Name when reversed becomes no name, okay? So it becomes Ashoka. Kosha becomes Ashoka. Ashoka means something, a person who has no grief, no anxieties, no worries, and no differentiation between gain and loss, birth and death. That means Ashoka. Even death. No trouble with the death also, and no happiness for life also. This called Ashoka, means no name. And everybody who knows the meaning will really be happy to see, really you must be having no worry. So Kali, you know how, just reverse the name, that's all. Ashoka, okay? You know, there was one king also, King Ashok. King Ashok, a Buddhist, no? Buddhist, maybe 200 BC, maybe. Yes. Who sent his daughter to Sri Lanka and son to the east to spread Buddhism. He was very generous king, you see, very generous, you see, very just king, you see. So if you like to derive the qualities of King Ashok, and during his time and after the 300 years there has been no war here, see. Yes. no war nowhere, no thefts in the country, no murders, no trouble at all. He was directly associated. Buddhism was so engrounded, you see, in him that even the animals in the forest will come near him. Yes. So it's good to give you this name. May I write down the spelling or you do it?
You can do it.
Chalo. See, it has not been possible to write you a letter during these 6 weeks. This body has been in Lucknow because the mind has not been working and the self had no need to say anything. All questions have been answered. All doubts have been removed. All that was I has disappeared. Who is this Ria? Ria? Please come this. Let me see the person who can claim all these qualities. I has disappeared into stillness. It was very wonderful, no? They said, I just remember reading these lines. I just remember Kabir, you see, who spoke the same thing. Who spoke the same thing, you see. So it's very difficult. What Kabir said, nobody followed. He said the same thing. Let the body be still and let the mind be still and let the intellect be still. That's all you have got to do, and then this stillness will attract. This stillness will attract what is called enlightenment, freedom, emancipation, emptiness. They will follow behind. They will follow you behind. If you do these 3 things, and they will follow you behind, you are not to run after it seeking. They will seek you. Understand? That's what Kabir said. Everybody is seeking, searching truth, isn't it? So if you do these things, the truth itself will search you. That's what Kabir says, you see. So I'm very happy to even read it. I'm very happy. Read it, I'm very happy, because when you understand everything that we read and we compare about anything we have stored in the memory just to assess the value of hearing, isn't it? But I don't think anybody has got in the memory stillness. Therefore, they will simply go on reading horizontally, going from left to right, running, without standing. Otherwise, one word what you speak is, my mind is still, questions disappeared. When anybody writes, my doubts, then he will run back, because he has nothing like this to compare in the memory. He will go on reading. Otherwise, one person who has come to somebody writing, this Kabir is writing, not writing, somebody wrote, he was illiterate person. He was speaking of his experience, and then he who heard it and tells he will stop. He will understand what he is speaking about. Therefore, there is no difference between me and Kabir. Yes. So you can only appreciate when you touch what is spoken, touch the word on the touchstone of your experience. Then only you can assess the value of a word. One word is enough. And your gifts have come as direct experience instead of any words. Who is free? It isn't I, because I isn't there. What a wonderful! I'll have to call you how you express I isn't there. What is there, Papaji? You are the self, and all this joy, love are now coexisting. Very good, you see. Coexisting, you see. In this body itself. Gratitude is not needed to one's own self, but divine love, oneness with this part of dream called Papaji will always live inside and outside of this body. Another flower has bloomed in your garden. It will be spreading. It will be spreading fragrance of love from one heart to all that are open to it. We will be leaving soon to bask in the presence of Ramana at Tiruvannamalai, your devoted daughter. Riya means what? Riya?
It was given to me 7 years ago by. It was given to me 7 years ago by the self.
Riya. Riya doesn't mean anything, no? So you want to go to Tiruvannamalai? So I give you one name from here onward. Means that also hasn't got much meaning, but more or less it will reflect where you are going to. Then this is where you are going, See name. What is this name?
Aruna.
You know the meaning?
Yes.
What is the meaning?
For the mountain. I can't pronounce the whole name.
What?
For the mountain.
Yes. Aruna is the mountain that doesn't move. Immobile. Also the light, also wisdom. Wisdom itself, light. Aruna means light, means sun also. But this sun is not sun that is in the skies. This sun is the self that reflects light on the, not on the earth like the sun, but on the hearts of all beings. This light goes and this sun reflects light in the hearts of all beings. So that is called Aruna. So when you say your name, I am Aruna, they will surely they will respect you. Is the name of the hill also, you know. Arunagiri. Giri means mountain, and that hill also is called Arunagiri. There are songs also, Arunagiri. And then there is a temple also, named Arunachaleshwara. There is a very big temple. You may go to see that temple also. Very, maybe 1 mile from the ashram. Okay. Okay. Now, since you wrote all these things, how long you have been here?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Oh, it's a great job you have done. So we give you farewell, all of us, and we are very happy that one of us. Okay. This is, some people go to Himalayan caves and spend 30, 40, 50, 60 years. I've seen people nowhere near the light. Nowhere I've seen them, you see. So involved in the practices, you see. So involved with the practices and forgot why they have left their family, their countries, their friends, and they have come here. That they forgot. And so attached to the practice. People get so much attached to the practice and they forget. We started practice for what purpose? To be free, and they forget. Freedom they forget, and practice they are so much attached to the practice only. And no practice can give you freedom. No practice can give you freedom. Then if you can get freedom through practice, it means freedom is the result of some practice, you see. And that before practice, it was absent, isn't it? That's why we practice. When the practice we begin, it means what we search for is absent now, and we start practice to win it. So it become a gain also. Through the practice we gained it. But freedom cannot be gained. Anything that gain would not it be lost. Anything that you gain will be lost to you. Therefore, what is gained and lost cannot be freedom. Therefore, freedom cannot be the result of any method, any way, any concept, or any practice, any sadhana whatsoever. Only it needs some help. Some help, of course, it needs of a person who has known it. just being with him, it will reveal itself, you see. Being with him, that is called satsang. And satsang is no practice, you see. It's just to tell you again and again that you are free. Not giving you any practice, just to tell you so that you are convinced of your freedom. Because you are convinced, I am body and this world is my home. So to remove that concept, you have to have another concept of removing. So that what is truth will reveal. This concept has got to go. This concept is that there is a river in mirage and you are thirsty, you are running for the river, you see, in a desert. You go on going to quench your thirst, the farther the river goes. And this is the river. Everybody is running after this river, mirage. And nobody stops, so even telling them, this is mirage. No one listens, let them run. The farther you run, farthest it goes, because it is just an illusion, it is sand. So once having known it, you will stop. When you stop, then it will reveal to you, because you are not running after any object. To quench your thirst, it will reveal the fountainhead of nectar itself in front of you. So, if you put a stop to your mind, not to think, means the time goes, past goes, space goes. That's all, and this is the place that you have shown very well, but I would request you to please, in short, give some advice to all of us. You did it in 6 weeks, is a splendid work, you see. Splendid work. Even during 6 weeks also, there may have been an instant of time that you got it, but even then 6 weeks you are here. So we hold satsangs 2 hours a day. So if you say 5 days means 10 hours, 6 weeks means 60 hours. So in 60 hours, your stay here is 60 hours. So in 60 hours also, there may have been 1 second only when you got it. See, when only you spoke it. To remove your concepts, tendencies of the mind going towards objects of the senses. Then it happened. So you will please come here and say what has happened, you see.
I was having dinner with our Mitra.
What particularly you attribute it to that particular time or space?
Well, he asked me a question, and I realized that there was no I. It was like the I was absolutely a thought and had nothing to do with anything else. It was fiction. And when I realized that it was fiction, everything else disappeared.
That is so simple, but can't you make it simpler, more? So simple.
Just being still and letting it happen. Just being still and letting it happen. And self-inquiry. Keep asking, who am I? And every thought that came, I asked, to whom is this thought addressed? To whom is this thought addressed? And I got nothing. It disappeared.
It's a good explanation also.
So now there's just joy. There's just joy.
So, sit. Yes. Come. What is this? What's your name?
Güde. Güde. But I don't resonate to my name anymore. I have a hard time to express it.
Sure.
So, this letter expresses most of my feelings I'm not able to express.
Not able to express.
It's
She also was not able to express. She also didn't express anything. She only used words only words she has used.
So that's why I found the words don't mean anything.
What say?
The words don't mean anything. It's just.
You can try to express it. She has done it, isn't it? Try to express what has happened.
What happened to me that I don't relate to my name, to the I, to me. I don't. There is nothing left.
Yes.
So I don't know
how to express after that.
Yeah. I don't feel there's no relationship anymore. And looking at you, the self doesn't need to talk to the self, I'm leaving too to Sri Ramana Maharshi, and we are going together, so...
Sure, together.
Yes, we have been together for some time.
It's okay.
And I feel that everything changed for me here.
When do you want to go? Because I'll have to...
Tuesday.
We're trying to get airline tickets, and we're waiting for the confirmation now.
By Madras Express, no? How are you going?
We're going to Bangalore, Delhi, Bangalore.
From Delhi you have to go then?
Yes.
No plane here? From Delhi you have to go, there will be no confirmation, you now...
We're just waiting to hear whether we have the tickets. We have to go back today to get them.
What I say is, I will arrange your accommodation in the ashram. For that purpose, I asked you if you have done it. Your reservation is okay, then I can inform the ashram to provide you accommodation, because this is a very busy month also, but they are not refusing our people, and they have informed me that I should inform them earlier, not immediately. So Rina is also going there. Rina is also going there. Perhaps she will be there, and some other people are also there. Already there. This Padmavati also there. You know Padmavati? No, you don't know. Padmavati is there. Anyway, you take letter from me. Okay.
I would really like to. There's no identification with the past, no relationship with it. So I ask you for a new name because this is my old name. I really can't relate to it anymore.
The old is gone.
The old is
gone. Yes. Both of you were going together, so this name also will be together, yes. Same name.
That can be very confusing.
You see, it's half name. Half name. Doesn't move. You're not to move now. Like mountain, you're not to move. It means this. Not to move. So when you both, they will ask what's your name, and then what's your name? Is it? You say, you reply. Immediately, she will. Everybody will put finger in his teeth. Is it?
And I'm going to have to learn how to pronounce it.
Now you know this is expression. Well expressed.
That's what I feel.
Who's one back in? Acha. Who is this man? Is here or this man? Is it here? This little girl on the photo is my daughter, Karima, and I would like to ask you to give her your blessing. Who's this man? This man? Please come here. You brought your daughter also or no? Huh?
No, she's not here.
I thought this girl was like her. This girl was like her, you know, see? Yeah, she want to see it, no? Very good. What's her name? Karima?
Karima.
Karima. Who gave this name?
I gave it to her. I gave it.
This is Arabic name.
Yeah, it's an Arabic
Arabic, huh?
name. Yeah, it's an Arabic name.
What's it?
It's an Arabic name, yes.
Yes. Yes.
For 3 days before her birth, I found this name.
Karima is Arabic name, so very good name. Al-Kareem, Al-Rahim, Al-Kareem. Very good. Very nice. Where is she?
She's with her mother. She's with her mother, and I feel very much for her, and I don't see her so often.
Where is she living?
She's now in Europe, but she's going to Australia.
Where?
In Europe, in Germany.
With Germany,
Yeah. And she's going to Australia now.
Achha.
I don't see her so often, and I just felt a few days ago that I would love you to see her.
It's a very beautiful girl,
on the
yes.
photo.
Very beautiful, very beautiful. Let me see. Yes. Yes, very beautiful. Huh? You take it.
Thank you.
I give my love. Share, I don't. Karima, okay? This is Karima. Dear Karima. She will remember sometime. She will remember the date.
Oh, thank you. Do you think it's a good name I gave to her, or you have a better name for her?
See, it's a good name, but then we give generally in Sanskrit names. It's okay, any name for child, any name is good name. Yeah.
Papaji, I heard that you like music a lot, and also have an Arabic flute here.
Flute here you have?
I could play a little bit for you.
Where is your flute? You bring it then later on. Okay. Yes, then we will have flute here.
Later.
No, you sit here. After this this thing, finish this. They will add. So you stay here. Meanwhile, which is this flute? Bamboo flute? Yes. Okay, then I will give you some accompaniment. Wait, I'll finish some Buddha. Yesterday in satsang, laughing with you, loving so deeply, I felt like a big rock was lifted off my heart. And all was simple, easy, light, happy, nothing special too. Papa, I get hooked wanting to open my heart. More to deepen my understanding, I get hooked wanting to open my heart more, who's this? This man should come himself. No? चलो बैठ जाओ. You know what is the hook and where is the hook? To be hooked, there must be something. Hook is hidden. When you go for fishing, you know, what do you do? What do you do?
Bait on the hook.
Yes. On the hook, you try to deceive the fish that you are feeding the fish, isn't it? You are feeding the fish. And then she comes to eat food and you pull it. And it becomes your food for the lunch, isn't it? And for the dinner.
Oh no, a dead fish.
Yeah.
I knew there was
The
one.
hook means that you are being fished by the hook. This eye is a hook. Yeah. And around that eye, some meat is there, and everybody goes. So, wiser are the fish who don't touch it, you see. Don't touch it. A few ones will not touch it. All the rest are hooked very well, and they are on the table in the evening. All these fishes you will wait will be on the table. And who will enjoy this dinner? Who will enjoy in the end? Lord Yamaha. Yes, he will enjoy a good food because his hunger never appeased so far. Never appeases. Billions and trillions of people gone into stomach still. He is hungry. So to avoid it, very few will avoid this thing. Very few, you see. You see, when the fishermen go and they spread a net, if you have seen fishing, they spread a net here. Local fishermen over on the seashore, not the trawlers. Trawlers, without reason, they catch anything, we do not know. But I have seen one day in Madras, I was in Madras, sitting on the beach. I was sitting on the beach and then two boats went into the deep sea and then they spread the net, like this thing. Two boats are apart and tied the net, you see, and slowly they are moving towards the shore. So now the fish have freedom. Freedom, this side, that side, doesn't make difference, isn't it? This is a net, I have to explain you. Net is slowly being drawn. So fish this side, nothing, no problem, no? Free, everybody is free. Now this net is going, net is moving, and some fish thought it was not there yesterday, and why we are being dragged ourselves. We can go in one direction only and not pass through this thing. Something wrong. They escape. They say they escape. There's something wrong somewhere, because yesterday we could go all the four directions. This side, this side, this side. Now this side is closed. One side is closed. Something wrong. Another wiser fish. So one fish didn't have no trouble. Other fishes there also came out from this net. This net is samsara, you see. Slowly moving, get out of it anytime. When you feel this is a push, get out of it. Then others, now it's go on moving. At the end now, they are now slowly they are closing like this thing, slowly, you see. Slowly they are going to close, and I have seen, now there are, some try to jump out of the net because it's open on the top. Some jump also, but there are other things also to pick them up in the air. Eagles and other things are there. And now still there is a time they can fly now. Number 3 fish tries at the end means say around 80 years. First didn't come, childhood, then youth. Excellent, like Vivekananda and others you see, ran out of it, Ramtirtha and others you see. Then Buddha also comes in this thing. Buddha also number 2 went away. Other one also jumped, but some are pounced on by these seagulls. Seagulls are there, they are dancing on this, they catch it, see. And then some hold them tight, the net itself. For the safety, they hold the net tightly, thinking we are safe. So those are those people, in the end itself they are holding on to this net after 80s also, so that this is security around everybody, this net is security. So they are the people who will go on the table, you see, and nobody can help them. Therefore, and what is that? Net is samsara. It is already there, laid in the ocean. This ocean, this samsara is this net. How to escape? Better early age, early childhood is better, you see. Then youth is better. Then middle age also not bad, you see. Not bad. So around up to 45, 50, not bad. So you are those. Then after that you have to jump, and this is diseases are waiting for you. Seagulls are waiting for you. Seagulls, and then now net is closed. Goes to the fish market. This is the whole drama. So it's better. And how to avoid it means desire for freedom doesn't come, you see. And whosoever, I've seen some people here, they said we had a desire for freedom, and they spent 2 hours, couple of days, 1 week, and 1 month, 6 months, went away. Finished their work. And what about those people who never come? Those are the fish holding tight to the meshes of the net itself. What are the meshes? Relationships. They will help me. These meshes are relationships with anyone, you see.
I have a wife and a child. I have a wife and a young child, like this guy who was just here too. I feel
yes, but beautiful. The freedom will tell you how to love wife. Only after freedom you will know how to love your wife and love your children. In other cases, may I tell you, in Germany what is happening and what has happened before me? You know it very well. What are happening to the just born children? Do you know it? Or your eyes are closed?
There's much suffering.
Children, just born children. I have seen them packed in plastic bags on the footpaths. Are you not aware of it? If you are, then how can you say that there are the parents and there are the children? It is a free man who loves his wife and loves his children, yes.
I love my child.
Yes, because when they love the wife, it's not for the sake of wife they love the wife. It is for the sake of self. That the husband loves the wife for the sake of self, and the wife loves husband for the sake of self only. And if the self is not there, will you love your wife? Yeah. And if you only know this is only you love the skin of the wife, it's not wisdom. And most people do it. There was one wise wife, this way she, wise wife, husband, very fond of wife, very much attached to wife. Now her brother is going to wed next week, and she says, I want to go to attend the marriage of my brother. No, he says, no, you can't go. I cannot live without you. This is love of wife to me. So he had some work out of station, and this man went away, and she slipped away. There was a river, and she ferried across the river and went to her parents on the other side of the river, their village. And this man came after 2 days, didn't find the wife. Key was with the neighbor. She said, I'm going to attend the marriage of my brother, and I had to go. And in few days, the marriage is to take place, and tell my husband also to come. He came and he was very angry with his wife, upset. How I can sleep? Tonight I am alone. So it was raining. The river in spate. Ferry service closed. What to do? So he decided to swim across the river. The current was very swift. But later on he found there was one plank of wood lying there. He swam across. So it was night. And among the relations, they were farmers. So he is trying to see with a dim light, candle lights were there in the houses, there was no electricity. He could find his wife and took out arm. You get up and come with me at the bank of the river. But how did you come? The river is in spate and no ferry service is not there for the last 3 days. And immediately I came, the ferry service was not there. How did you? He said, and he said, this was a plank through which I came and I kept it on the bank. On this I sailed, this plank of wood. But he said, is it a plank of wood? It was a dead body on which you swam across. This body, dead body, wrapped in, was there, and he used it as a raft and came here. And I said, oh my dear man, look, had you had this desire of freedom as you had for a woman, for me, for my skin, you would have become a sage. You would have become a sage, thrice shattered, had you spent this desire, 1/4 of this desire, for freedom, as you have spent, risked your life also for a woman, for your wife. My dear man, look. Just now, think what you have done. And then that's all the words of a wife. He prostrated before his wife. He prostrated before his wife and left her. And he became a saint, a realized person. I think people who know would know whom I mentioned. That's all. So do you love the skin of your wife or something within? If that within that bird flies away, what will you do with your wife? So what do you love? That which is indwelling the body of the wife, that you love. And otherwise, you want to dispose of. Even before death, you order the grave, isn't it, in Germany? Before death, the man, they are waiting. That car has come already, and you hand over, isn't it? And you also order the mourners also. They will weep on your behalf, because you in Germany don't weep for the departed soul also. Mourners will go with the car to the burial grounds. Who weeps, you see? Immediately you will be trying next moment, because the child is young. So this is the honesty and sincerity of a person, all for self-interest. You must have full, absolute love with each person that you must love. And that love can be self to self, not skin to skin.
I don't understand that. I don't understand what you're telling me.
What do you say?
I don't understand what you're telling me.
That's the difficulty of Western culture. How will you understand if I say you love the self of your wife and not the skin of your wife, and if you don't understand because of Western culture?
I understand.
You don't understand. It is so simple to love wife. You love wife as you love your own self.
Yes.
What you don't understand? Yeah, what you don't understand. Then you will pick up another woman like this thing, because you want a woman, not wife. You want a woman and not wife, you see.
I just want to be rid of my mind. My wife is one thing, my mind is worse wife.
You have a spiritual understanding, spiritual relationship also. Of course, I don't stop you. For other relationships as a wife and husband, I don't stop you. But then, apart from this, you can sit along with you, meditate and find out how to be free. There's no impediment in doing this if you spend 5 minutes. If you spend 5 minutes during a lifespan of, Germans have 78 years lifespan. Okay, 78 years. During 78 years, you can spend 78 seconds, 1 second to a year at least. 1 second to a year on your own self. Speak to each other. Spending 1 second in a year, have you spent? Has anyone spent? Yes, that is the trouble. You can't even spend 1 second. You live for others. You lived for others right from your before birth even. Father is expecting in pregnancy also. So you are already possessed. We will get a son or a daughter after 4 months or 6 months even. So do something, my dear man.
Can I sing you a song?
Dear Master, dear Papaji, please talk to me about love. Your daughter, Angelica. Thank you. Who's Angelica? Angelica. What you want me to speak about love?
Yes.
So far, what you have understood the meaning of love so far? What do you call love, so that I may not repeat the same things? So far, what was love in your mind? Or what was the difference between lust and love? You mistook love for lust, isn't it? Yes, that is the trouble. Therefore, you do not know what is love. Only lust. Everybody is lusting about and calling love, simply not knowing what the love is. Love can be only of the self. All the rest is lusting about. If there is any contact between one person and another, it's called lust. And if you are in love with yourself, that is called love. That's all. This is the explanation. And that cannot be defined. She could not define, she could not define. This is called love. This is called love. Look unto your own self. Direct your mind towards its source. If you want to see what is love, direct your mind not to any person, but to the source of the mind. Then you will be directly in contact with the love. Otherwise, you can't depend on any other thing, which is called, so-called love. And this word, a very holy word, has been misused, misinterpreted also, you see. This can be used only for the sake of your relationship with your own self. That is called love. All the rest is interest. Where there is interest, it should be labeled as lust and not love. Love is so pure, immaculate, you see. And where there is no demand, no command, that's called love. No demand on you. If you do this, I love you. If you don't, I don't love. That's not love, you see. Love is to give away without any kind of interest. To give yourself. Give yourself up. Nothing in exchange. Nothing in exchange. That's called love. But everybody pounces on one another like a vulture, calling love. Then what are you going to do now? I told you what is love and what is lust. What have you practiced so long? You must have seen one side, only one side. Are you happy? No. Then better switch over to the other one. If you are happy, keep up. I don't disturb your life. If you are happy, keep up. Keep on. And if there is something fishy about, then it's better to change your environment. That's all. If there's some pollution, it's better to change. Yeah. Why to stay in pollution? When we can have better environment, we have good forest, good gardens, good mountains, good rivers. Why not live there? Why to die here in pollution? What for? It's no use repenting for the time that is past now. Even then nothing is lost. You are a young girl, nothing is lost. Make up your mind to live a happy life, that's all. But it's no use to cry over the spilt milk, you see. No use. No use to... Yeah. Yeah. Everybody is suffering in the world, we see. Who is happy in this world? Everyone is suffering, you see. No one is happy in this world. No one is happy in this world. So it is said, no one is happy. Only one person can be happy. Only that person can be happy who loves that. Who loves that person can be alone happy. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. What's this word? This word? This.
Quoted.
Quoted, should be. Dear Papaji, in the Papaji's book you are quoted the real master looks into your mind and heart. Who's Jerry? Who's Jerry? Please come here. Can't read your German handwriting. What's it? Sees what state you are in and gives out advice which is always appropriate and reverent. Will you look into my heart and mind and give me such advice? This body, have just come yesterday. You came yesterday only? Very good. From?
From America.
America. Mm-hmm. When you write, this body has just come yesterday. This body, this body.
I was trying to avoid using the I.
Huh? What do you say?
I was trying to avoid using the I.
Yes, yes. So I using this body. No, this body you said, no? This body.
Yeah.
This body has just come. This body.
Yeah.
This body means,
My body.
Yeah, my body and this body, no difference, no?
Yeah.
This body, this pen, this body, this watch, this pants. Okay? This is all this. So you have separated yourself from this, it means, no?
Yes.
This body, you say this body, then who are you? When you say this body, this samsara, these problems, when you say this, so you have separated yourself from this. So what's left? You are separate from this. My body also, when you said my body, my house, my wife, as you said, my wife, my daughter, is separate. You are not say me wife, me daughter, me body, you don't say, no? When my is used, it means it belongs to you, isn't it?
Yes.
My body. So who are you then? Who is possessing this body? Who are you? Just I want to separate you, not this thing. It's very reasonable. This is my apartment, this is my car. This is my car. You are not the car. Isn't it? You are driving. You are driver of the car. Therefore, who is the driver in the car now? Who is driving the car? You are sitting in the car. I am driving home. You say, I am driving to office. But it doesn't mean that you have become the steel, benzene, tires. You don't. Still you are in the car itself, but you are not the car. So who is seated in this car? Who is it? A question now. Who is a question?
I know that I'm consciousness. I know that I'm God.
No, you are not. No. Wait. You said, I know I am consciousness. You know, you said, I am consciousness. So wait, let us work on this. So I am consciousness, okay. You start from here. You start now from here, I am consciousness. Consciousness means consciousness has no limitations, isn't it? And no time, and no space. That's called consciousness. And now you say, I am consciousness, you are that which has no limitations and no time and no space also. Now, that's all. Everything is included into this consciousness because there are no limits. Limits only belong to space, time. So it is so wide that everything is included into it, yet not affected. That's called consciousness. Emptiness, call it emptiness if you can understand. In this hall means 4 walls, no? House means 4 walls, roof, ceiling, that's all, isn't it? You are not touching the walls, not touching the 4 walls, not this roof, isn't it? Then you are in the emptiness, no, of this thing. So how is it that you are sitting in this house? You are sitting in emptiness, isn't it? And why it is called house? Because of this wall. Because you are sitting here, now you say, I am sitting in this house, isn't it? And you remove the walls. Still you will be sitting here where you have been sitting before. No change. Whether the walls are there or not there, emptiness is not touched. Now, without walls, you can go anywhere you like. You have constructed these walls around you. And consciousness is now suppressed with your preoccupation with walls. That these walls are called house. Therefore, the only trouble is this: we construct a veil between emptiness and ourselves. Therefore, we get into trouble. And emptiness, consciousness, can never be touched. Who can touch it? It cannot be seen. When you see a thing, you say you see wall, because these things are temporary. Therefore, you can become a seer. When you see these glasses, you are a seer because these are insentient things, permanent thing, object. Therefore, you have become the seer. When you become the seer, there must be an object of senses. But you have to see yourself. You cannot become a seer of consciousness. Can you become a seer, experiencer of consciousness? Can you?
I think so.
Huh?
I think so.
You think so? How? You say, I think so. Where do you think from?
From the mind.
No. Okay. Where do you think? This power of thinking, where are you getting from?
The thinking comes from the mind.
Okay, from the mind. Where does the mind get this power of mentation? To become mind. To become mind, where does it get this energy to be mind, because this mind is no more there when you sleep. So it is not eternal energy of the mind. So long there is object, then only there is mind. Tell me without any object. Tell me without any object you can see the mind. Tell me. What do you say? Without object. No, without object, you tell me what the mind is. And why you are quiet now?
I don't have an answer that I...
Okay, yes, now you don't have an answer. Why you don't have an answer? Why? There will be answer when there will be something in front of you. That I removed for some time. Therefore, you have no question. You are quiet. And what have you lost? In this quietness, what have you lost? What is your loss? What has happened during this quietness? What has happened?
I've lost my questions.
I lost your question. Okay, so okay, I have lost my question. So with this losing of the question, the questioner also has been lost, no? In this case, I was the questioner and the question was there. Question is lost, I is lost, okay? Okay?
Yes.
Yes, now, no I, no question. No I, no question. Don't touch I, and no question will rise. And tell me without I, how do you feel?
Warm.
Warm, very good. Very good. This warmth is called love, no? This warmth is called love, you see? Yeah. And when the eye touches you, warmth goes. Warmth will go when the eye touches you. So therefore, you keep quiet now. Best thing is to keep quiet. Okay. Now you come on, sit down here. You are good, Mr. Jerry. Yesterday you came. I'm very happy with you. Very happy with you. Yesterday comes, and he is now quiet. So where you have ferried from to Lucknow?
I was in Pune, staying at a Christian ashram there, and then I came from...
How they allowed you to come here?
How did they allow me to come here?
Yeah, they don't allow. They don't allow.
Well, I'm not necessarily a Christian, and people who stay in an ashram don't have to be Christians.
That's it. See, these things this thing can let you free. You see, when you are like this thing, you are lost. Therefore, don't sell your soul to anything. You see, when you want to enjoy, don't sell your soul. You can sell your watch. Don't sell your soul. And they say, if you sell the soul, then they are very proud to tell you, after After death they will look after you, not before. Not before. All promises of heaven are after death. Who knows? The priest himself has not gone. After death. Why not here and now? Happiness can be had here and now. What's the use of yesterday after that? If somebody promises, I will give you heaven, this is the promise, and I will give you sweet water to drink, and women and boys also. This is one religion says. Everything intact. So other one says, if you come to my church, you will go to heaven, and if you don't, to hell. So fear. I don't think there is any religion without fear. Tell me. You take away the fear from the concept of religion, no religion can stand. There must be fear of sin, and they brand you as a sinner. Ye sinners. They address like this thing, no? Ye sinners. This particular person will give you rest after death. No, I don't say that. I say you are free. And this girl is in trouble. Why I repeatedly say you are free? You are free, you see. This is a fact that you are free. Someone else must have told you, you are a sinner. I can't say about anything, but I don't tell you. You are all not even son of God or messenger of God. You are God itself. That's all I say. Now you prove I am not. Yeah. So, my dear Jerry, I'm very happy. You go back, you go to the same ashram and tell them, don't weep, be happy. Okay. And look within. Look within yourself and you will find that you are God. That's all. Otherwise they will put you on the cross, you know. The best of the religion, they will put you on the cross, and then you will say, oh my Father, why thou hast forsaken me? Father cannot forsake. Cannot forsake. At least, no. If you cannot become father, at least do not become his son also. Why to be son of someone else? One more letter. This man is going to play a flute, okay? Sami. Dearest Papaji, in a flash, I experience that the self is everyone, everywhere, everything, that the self manifests in whatever form or as whatever experience is needed to lead one back to the self. Who is Sami? This girl is Sami, okay. And that this is a continuous manifestation. sometimes I get hurt over situations where I feel left out. I saw how it is the self reflecting images giving me the experience as a chance to overcome my impediments rather than a situation to cause hurt. It was a wonderful revelation. It's kind of funny when you see that it is your own self becoming these other selves that I thought was other than myself. It was also very loving, for a wonderful understanding, a gift of the real love. I thank you, Swami. Also in meditation and sometimes in not meditation, I see a bright white dot in front of my eyes. Is there any significance to this? So after this experience of what you are defined in your letter, sometimes the mind is not going back to that which has already rejected. The things which you have already rejected, as in the name of objects, that they are not permanent, so the mind is lifted. And now the mind is now returning to its source. So in between there is a kind of light. There is a kind of light, you see. And this light should not be mistaken as permanent experience. So otherwise this becomes again a hurdle or an impediment to get attached to this light, and most of the saints and sages have stuck up to light and they are accepted as saints. You see, only they see the light, you see. Even in the beginning they say, let there be light, and there was light, you see, that's first. The light, the stress of light was there always, you see. The stress of light was there always, this thing. Let there be light, there was light. This is how the creation, how the sun was created, that's by, according to one religion, you see. Yeah. So this is not, has got no value, because the light must come from somewhere else. The light also must come from somewhere else, you see. So that somewhere else has to be accepted, and all lights are still subtle mind, you see. Still you have become seer to see the light, then light has become object, and before gross things were your objects, and now subtle things in your objects, as in the dream also. In spite of gross things, you are seeing subtle things and calling them real. In the dream also you see sometimes sun, isn't it? You see the sun also, but that sun is not a sun, not a true sun. At that time you don't say you are a dream sun. No, there is a real sun also. No, you don't say. We don't have discrimination. Therefore, we should not abide or allow the mind to abide anywhere. So that advice is needed. Let your mind not abide anywhere. Let it be anything. Gross or subtle, light or darkness. Some say there is a dark point. Whatever it is. Mind is trying to deceive again, therefore let your mind not abide in objects, in persons, in things. You go on going without abiding anywhere. And then you will continuously go on going, you see. And that is the advice that at this point I could give you. Okay. Thank you. Acha, now you want to play flute? Acha, wait, then I will give you some help also. Mark will come. And then this girl also was offered. This girl has offered a Sufi dance also once again. You are here. You have not seen the Sufi dance. So there are no words to share my gratitude, Papaji, for being in satsang with you. Maybe this Sufi song comes very close to it. If you are not one with the beloved, seek. If you are in union, rejoice. So let me just share this whirling with you, this eternal existential dance in love. Zahira. Very good. This place is sufficient for you, or you want to widen up? No,
we are old friends, so this will. We are old friends.
You have to stand, doesn't matter. Remove these cushions. Move them back. He will play the same music with you, flute with you.
He's perfect. We are old friends.
Oh, friend?
Yeah, very old friends.
Oh, then she knows. He knows your steps through the bamboo, no? Oh, this flute is from there?
Yeah, it's from the Turkish system.
I see. Sure.